Hi everybody, it's Mary. And many of you have told me in posts and in person that time management is one of the main reasons that you took this class. So I'm about to go through some steps of practical things you can do and should do to keep track of your time. First, we're going to talk about what these steps are. These are very practical to-do lists and should be done every semester. The first step is to create a semester calendar. We're going to talk about what all of these things are as I go through this presentation, but for now I just want to give you the overview. Next, commit to a weekly timetable, a schedule of how you're going to spend your time each week. You're going to write SMART goals for each week. We started doing SMART goals in our first week of class, and we're going to do more as the semester goes on. Schedule your week, which means how are you going to spend the time that you have reserved for studying? Exactly what tasks are you going to do? And last, make daily to-do lists. These first two things, the create the semester calendar and commit to a weekly timetable, these are things you want to do at the very beginning of the semester that are going to set the tone of how you're going to spend your time during the semester. These other things are things you're going to do on a weekly basis. Maybe every Sunday night you're going to do these things, and this is going to help you move through all of the tasks that you need to do and not get backlogged or behind. Okay, so let's begin. Let's talk about what a semester calendar is. Here's an example of a semester calendar. What you're going to do is you're going to go through all of your syllabus, all of the academic calendar, all of your personal commitments, and you're going to put them in one place. So you need to find yourself a planner or a website or some place where you can record all of these things. In one of the other resources in our Moodle shell, I gave you some examples of apps and websites that you can use. The book gives some examples, and I've also told you about how you can get yourself a College of Alameda planner, which I've put some aside for you in the Welcome Center. So if you go to the Welcome Center in the middle circle at College of Alameda and tell them that you're in my class, they will give you a planner that you'll be able to write everything down. It's not important what your choice is. What is important is that you do something and pick something where you're writing all of this down. The nice thing about creating a semester calendar is it's very visual and it lets you see ahead of time when you have big weeks and big days. So you can plan ahead and not end up 2 days before with 3 tests and a paper due on a day and you're caught off guard. So let's see how this works. Let's go back to our sample. And notice we've put everything in here, including holidays, all of the homeworks that are due, quizzes every week, priority registration dates, which are dates that people register for the next semester. But look, we also put in some personal things like Jonathan's wedding. I'm looking at this calendar and I'm noticing right here a big collection of stuff. There's an educational plan assignment due for one class, there's a paper revision due, there's an art history test, and on the very next day, there's an anthropology test. This is a huge couple of days. But the other thing that I'm noticing is that the weekend before, which would usually be a weekend where I would take off and really enjoy, this would usually be a weekend where you do all the work for these things. But you have a big wedding that weekend, so this is not going to be available, which means to plan for this time, you're going to have to start way in advance getting ready. This is the advantage of the semester calendar. It really lets you see when you're going to have these hot days where you have to plan ahead for. Okay, so how do you create one? How do you know where to go to get all this information? First, you're going to choose the planner that'll work for you, whether it's a paper one, an app, or a website. Next, you're going to write down all the important dates for the semester, including from your core syllabus. Record all your dates and exams of all the things that are due. You're going to write down appointments and personal commitments that you have, also your work schedule, and also record all important dates from the academic calendar. And I'm going to talk about what the academic calendar is in a second, like right now. So this is a list of things that you would find on the academic calendar, and here are some other things that might relate to you that have to do with the academic calendar. The academic calendar can be found on the Peralta website. So let me show you how you would do this. We're going to click on the Peralta website, and we're going to go to the main Peralta website. If in the search you type in academic calendar and hit search, and this is how I always get there, it brings you to this page, right? The first hit, academic calendar. I'm going to click on that, and sure enough, the spring academic calendar. I click on this, and here are all the important dates for this semester, including things like the last day to drop with the W, without a W appearing, days that we have off, the last day for filing pass, no pass, holidays, spring break, all kinds of things, the last day to withdraw and receive a W. So this is an important piece of information and should be included in your planner so you can plan ahead. Okay, next, committing to a weekly timetable. This is actually what your assignment is for this week. So the weekly timetable is going to be the place where you dedicate the same time each week to important tasks, including studying. So, for example, if you have a class that gets out at noon and you dedicate an hour for lunch, you might put on your weekly timetable that every Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 3, you're going to go to the library. This keeps you from thinking that any time is free time, because study time is not free time. It's unscheduled school time that's waiting for you to schedule it. If you are not purposeful in scheduling time to study, it's very likely that you won't. So this is the nice thing about knowing that you'll be in the library Monday, Wednesday from 1 to 3, is it gives you the parameter to be able to say no to friends. So if someone asks you to do something during that time, you're not tempted to say, well, yeah, I have that time free. You say, no, that's my study time. So let's talk about how we create this academic calendar. You're going to, on your grid, showing days of the week, block out all times you have commitments. You're going to schedule blocks of time dedicated for schoolwork. You should also think about where you're going to do that work. Consider using different color pens or pencils to mark different commitments. If you're in an online class or a hybrid class, you should block out time that you're going to do the work for that class. It helps to have a routine where you're doing that class at the same time every week. It's very easy to get behind. Be sure you also block out time for work, church, family responsibilities, whatever you have going on, community involvement, campus involvement, whatever you're going to be doing on a weekly basis. You should also think about scheduling a regular time every week for the writing lab, the math lab, tutoring, study groups, whatever is going to help you be successful. So let's do an example. This is a page from Passport that you can look at your schedule in a calendar block like this. So I just took this and I wanted to give you an example of what a weekly timetable would look like. So here are all the classes. You're going to first put your classes in. Next, this person every week works from 5 to 9:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they also work on Saturday. Every Sunday, they go to church. So that gets put in right away. Next, every day at 3 o'clock, this person picks up their sister from middle school. So put that into the calendar. Next, this person has decided that instead of thinking of Tuesday and Thursday mornings as off, this is their tutoring and writing lab time. So they're actually going to come to campus at 9 o'clock in the morning and go to the tutoring and writing lab so that they can work on their English 5, they can work on any papers that are due for any of the other classes. Then they put in some study time. They said they're going to study at Pete's on Tuesday afternoons and evenings. After work on Monday, Wednesday, they're going to study. The Thursday afternoon, or Thursday evening rather, they're scheduling a study group. And on Sunday night, they're scheduling study time. Remember that you should be scheduling at least 2 hours for every 1 hour you're in class. Okay, next, we still see some blank times. There's some library time that this person can get in there. They're not going to leave campus. They're just going to grab a bite to eat and go to the library before they have to leave to pick up their sister. And they're also going to use that little hour between 10 and 11 that they have free, but it's not free. They're going to go to the classroom and they're going to review their anthropology notes. So you can see this is looking really full, but there's nothing in here that is extravagant. This is a student that's going to be successful because they're getting all their work done and they're not going to leave things to the last minute. So, how do you set weekly SMART goals? We've done this already. You're going to make SMART goals at the beginning of each week. You're going to write the goals in your planner. And these are some examples of SMART goals. If you'd like, go ahead and pause this recording and take a minute to read these things. So these are the things that this person wants to get done this week. They obviously have an assignment due called the Alien Observer in their English class, and they have some homework sets that are due. The step 4, schedule your week. Determine which blocks of time you'll give to each task. Make it real. Include things like with whom and where. So for example, this person has the alien paper due. They're going to work on it when they go to the library. They're going to work on it when they go to the tutoring lab. So they know exactly on Monday when they're going to the library what they'll be working on. They've decided that these afternoon times, this is when they're going to work on their anthro problems. This is when they're going to review their anthropology notes. They know exactly what they'll be doing when because they've set goals and they're fitting their goals into their weekly timetable. The last and most important thing of time management is to make a daily to-do list. If you do nothing else, do this. You make one every single day. Prioritize all your items. What's the most important, what's medium, and what's low priority. This is an example of a to-do list. This is all the things that this person has to do this week. And then they went through and they said, these are all the things they want to do this day. And they went through and they prioritized. At the end of the day, they're going to go through and cross off the things that they've already done. Whoops, I got a little ahead of myself. They're going to cross off the things. Crossing off things is really fun. That's what makes it the funnest. I have another presentation specifically on to-do lists that you can go look at that I've also posted. It's a presentation and a little video. So go ahead and take a look at that. You have the tools in this presentation to get started on time management. So people, let's go ahead and make this a great semester.